in Queensland you may be. My name's Darren, admin of QFC, and this is the first in our series of Vilic and Consultation. We'll have a chat to people in football who I've never actually spoken to. I've obviously seen them in a bar, but never actually had that conversation. So, we've got Rebekah Horsey. Beck, thank you for joining me.
Hey, no worries. Good to be here.
All right. How are you going with the lockdown at the moment? You going stir crazy?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a bit weird not being able to like train and play and whatever else, but yeah, surviving. I'm at the beach, so can't be too bad.
Yeah, right. Okay. So are you still getting any training in?
Kind of just do stuff on my own or with the like people up here. So just go for kicks and stuff like that. Nothing too like organized, I guess. So it's just more impromptu out with a ball.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the reason that I'm back is, of course, at the end of last season, you were recognised for your fantastic year with Lions, and you signed a contract with Canberra United and spent the season down there. But we'll come to that shortly. I just want to start off with your junior football. Just tell everyone a little bit about how you got started.
So I started playing like church soccer just at my local club with some kids I went to school with. Raceview Congregational.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played with them. And then once all the boys got to high school, they left and went to like boys grammar and stuff like that. So they had Saturday football. So our team kind of fell apart. And so I decided to go over to Ipswich Knights and ended up playing in the under 16 girls team. And every now and then I'd fill in for the reserves, which there was the Prems and reserves back in the day. So yeah.
Okay, so your junior football was playing with the boys?
Yeah, up until I was 12, and then I went back like a year or two later and did a little bit with the boys then. But yeah.
Okay, were you the only girl on the team?
There's probably one or two most years. Sometimes different ones, sometimes the same one. But yeah, there's only one or two of us.
What position did you play?
Centre mid. Pretty much all the time, yeah.
So given responsibility in the midfield.
Yeah. It wasn't so different, I guess, between girls and boys when we were younger. So, yeah.
Okay. Did you cop any verbals during the game?
Not really. My dad was kind of the coach for a little bit. The boys are pretty nice, which is good. Every now and then they'd probably get a bit funny about me being a girl and like wouldn't pass me the ball or something like that. But yeah, the ones who played with me a lot didn't mind too much, I don't think. Okay.
So that was up until till age 12. Then what happened? When did you get good?
Some may say I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I played under 16s at Ipswich Knights, and then I don't know. I've always loved it. So anything extra I could do, I just always wanted to keep playing. So yeah, they sometimes needed players for reserve team, and when I was old enough, they let me play, and I just loved playing, and so that always stretched me, I guess, and made me better. But yeah, I put in a lot of hard work, I guess, between now and back then. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. So as a junior, what were your strengths?
I'm a pretty simple player, still am. I just kind of get the ball, pass it off. I'd say my strengths can generally like read the game fairly well, but like I'm not super tricky. I'm not a goal scorer or anything like that. But yeah, can generally kind of pick out what the other team's going to do or kind of see something that my team can do before it happens.
Okay. All right. And so that was your teenage years, and then you joined UQ when you went to uni. Is that right?
Well, actually, from Ipswich Knights, I played there for a while, and then I went and played college soccer for 4 years. I stayed at Ipswich Knights until I finished college, and then I went to UQ when I came back with one of my friends.
Right. So you spent time in the United States.
Yes, I was in Texas for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the differences there. It seems super organised over there and very well structured.
Oh yeah, the sport is massive over there. So it was so fun going over. I didn't really know, like, I ended up doing teaching, which is what I thought I wanted to do, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do at uni. So I kind of was just like, I just want to play soccer. So it seemed like a good fit. But yeah, they have really good like gyms and training every day. And the coaches are good. But the style is a bit like more direct, a bit quicker, very athletic. Especially in college, everyone's just like athletes. So it was a bit tricky, like trying to fit in and play their style. But yeah, after a while, you kind of get used to it, and training with them obviously helps.
And you're in the midfield the whole time?
Yeah, which was nice.
Okay. So then he came back, played for UQFC, and Joe DeSavio was your coach, yeah?
Yeah, after a few years, yeah, he came to UQ. Yeah, he's really nice, so it's good to have him.
Yeah. And then we had the situation where UQ disbanded their NPLW side. Lions picked them up. How did that move sit for you?
It wasn't too bad. I was just coming back to UQ in that year, and they kind of mentioned it. And UQ had been a bit of a like kind of family-ish orientated, like they're always really nice. And then I don't know, we didn't know too much of Lions. They used to play in the old Premiers and Premier Reserves, so we kind of knew a little bit about them. But we knew they were very like elite, I guess. Like they had all the facilities and all of that. So we weren't too sure how these two seemingly very different clubs would we kind of merged together, I guess, for a year, and then Lions took over. So yeah, it was interesting to see how it all played out. We kind of just hoped for the best, and it worked out, I think, okay for like UQ to become Lions. I think that was a good step for them.
Okay. What do you think that you benefited as a result?
Yeah, definitely. I think anyone would benefit from being in a place like Lions. They have pretty much everything you need to succeed, I think. And they really wanted to help their women kind of match what the men are doing. So put them on a bit of a level playing field as far as like using the facilities, getting the equipment, all of that kind of stuff. So that was really good. A lot of us haven't really had that kind of like support before, I guess. So it was nice to feel like the club really valued us.
And UQ had a successful women's program, but Lions, you did pretty well in the first season.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, UQ was all right. Just didn't have the facilities and that kind of stuff, I guess. But yeah, it was a good first year for us at Lions. So really happy with the transition that year.
And then, of course, the next season, Rob Askew takes over and then he becomes just the dominant force.
Yeah. Rob has a lot of good experience and a lot of good knowledge that he put into the team. And especially I'd been playing centre back a lot in my senior football, which I didn't really like. But yeah, Rob kind of let me play midfield, and I think that really helped me grow a lot. And he's a good coach, and he gave a lot of good feedback and things like that at training, and he works us really hard. So it was good. He definitely would help me, I think, get to the level I was at last year.
Why do you think Rob has been so successful for so long?
I think that it's a combination of things. I think that generally, like, he's a teacher. He knows how to communicate things on the football field. And I think that his knowledge kind of goes with that, and it kind of both things work together so that you have a good session. You're learning, and you like trust him to make the right decision. And he's all about culture. So I think developing a good culture, anyone will play for a coach they respect and a team they trust.
And tell me if you disagree, but I thought at the beginning of last season you were okay, but you just grew into the year and just got better and better as it went on.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, I think just getting to play in midfield helped, and obviously with Rob, but I was also, training with the men or the under 18s and 20s that started out, and then ended up training with the men's team at Lions. And then obviously the trial with Raw as well helped, I guess, always training, and that training at a high level, you kind of learn a lot and you think a bit quicker and things like that.
Okay. So you got your trial with Raw. Obviously that didn't work out. How did Canberra United come about?
So Mel Andrietta had, I guess, bumped into Heather Garriock at maybe a coaching or something like that, and had said, kind of put my name out there that I'd been trying with them, and that I had, I guess, grown a lot since my trial. And so Heather had my number for a while, and then eventually I think things might have fallen through with someone else she was trying to recruit. And so she gave me a call on our grand final day, actually, and asked if I wanted to come down for a trial, and emailed me. And yeah, so it's kind of an offer I couldn't turn down. So I went down for a week trial. I had to take time off work. It was meant to be 2 weeks, but I couldn't get enough time off work to do 2 weeks. So I just had a week. And at the end of the week, she offered me a contract.
On grand final day?
Yeah, she called me.
I was trying to go.
I had arrived at the field. I was watching the 18s play, I think, so maybe two hours before our game. So I was trying to be calm and cool, but yeah, I was freaking out.
So what did that do for you?
The call or Canberra?
Yeah. Just bumping afterwards, or did you lose focus?
I don't know. I was a bit excited and a bit. She said she'd watch the game, so I was a bit nervous then. I don't know. I tried to kind of focus on the game, but it was pretty hard. I wouldn't say it was my best performance, but we still won, so it's all good.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, did you tell anyone?
At the time, just my partner. That's it. He was there. I can't remember if I might have told Rob Scanlon, the general manager, or Rob Askew. I might have told one or two people, but just my boyfriend. That's it.
Okay. So it was a phone call from Heather herself.
Yeah. So that was a bit crazy, but it was directly from her, which I didn't expect.
So your 2-week trial ended up being 1 week. How did it? It obviously had a happy ending, but what did you have to do to be successful?
It was kind of the start of pre-season, so I just went with everything they were doing, and there was a few other girls trialing as well, just to kind of fill the last couple spots. So it was pretty scary, and I honestly, it was a bit of a struggle at times. I was a long way from home, had all these plans that I had started to make because the Raw thing didn't work out, and it was just very interesting kind of to juggle that with training and getting used to the tempo because it's so much faster, and I just felt really out of my depth at times. But we had a game this Saturday before she was going to tell me whether I got a contract or not, and that it kind of clicked a bit in that game, and I felt a bit more comfortable. So that was a really good feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us about your debut.
It was pretty nerve-wracking. The week before I had made the 16, but then didn't get to sit on the bench, so it was a bit disappointing, but kind of I would say expected, being that it was my first season. I wasn't expecting to get on the bench in my first game. So, the second week when I got to sit on the bench against Melbourne City was pretty exciting, and it was a good game and we were really in it. So, I was just happy kind of sitting on the bench watching my team do pretty well. And so when she called my name to go on, I was like, be cool, it's fine, it's going to be all right. Like, just keep it simple. But yeah, when I got to go on, it's pretty surreal, especially against a team like Melbourne City with so many Matildas who I've watched over the years and everything like that. So it was so strange to be on the field with all of them. And then I probably should have scored my first touch, but I stuffed it up. But anyway, that's all right.
So how many minutes were on the clock when you came on?
I think it was probably around 75 or so. I had maybe 10, 15 minutes on the field. It wasn't too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the score?
It was 1-1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you brought on to make an impact.
Yeah.
And your first touch was a score.
Yeah. A volley from across. Should have placed it past Lydia Williams, but yeah, went over the bar. That's all right.
Right. So it was a header, was it?
No, it was a volley from across.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your first touch in the W League.
Yeah. Welcome.
Okay. So did that, although you missed, did that settle you down and you then just played out the game?
Not really. The first, I don't know, when you come on late in a game, it's always pretty high energy. You know, you're there for a reason to make a difference. So, yeah, you kind of feel like you're running around a bit crazy for a while. And yeah, it didn't stop feeling like that for the whole time I was on. So yeah, I'd had a few moments like calm passes, but for the rest of the time I was like, gotta do my job, gotta make sure I'm doing the right thing. So it was a bit overwhelming really, but you try and play it cool and keep it calm as much as you can.
Sure thing. You had 6 other games for Canberra United. At the end of it, did you feel comfortable at the end?
Yeah, I feel like the chances I got to come on as a sub, I felt pretty comfortable. I know a few of them the game was kind of not done, but kind of done. But yeah, by the end, especially in training as well, I felt more comfortable. I felt like I could keep up. Yeah, especially in the last game against Brisbane Roar, I felt like I was almost meant to be out there with them.
Okay. It felt like you belonged in the end.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell us about the sports science that Canberra United have got. Did it blow your brain, or is it a tin pot operation?
As far as like our strength and conditioning and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the behind the scenes stuff. Are they well resourced?
Yeah, I think there's a standard that you have to keep in the W League, and so they have, a physio, a strength and conditioning coach who are always at training. It wasn't necessarily anything too crazy as compared to like college in America. That they have all the facilities and things like that. But yeah, it was cool having our own strength and conditioning coach, who kind of planned our gym and our running and things like that, and then having the physio there all the time if we needed her. We could go in and see her after games and things like that. So it was definitely very cool, and yeah, definitely good resources to have at a club if you can, in other levels as well as the W League.
And at the end of the season, do you have like I'm assuming that your contract is only for that season?
Yeah. I think you can be contracted for more than one season. Like if you're a Sam Kerr or someone like that, they'll probably get you for a few. But yeah, the rest of us, it's just season to season.
And is there an exit interview? Is it like, really liked what you did, but might get you back next year, or?
Yeah, so at the end of each season, there is an exit interview. At least there is at Canberra. It was a bit different this year, I think, because they had already announced that Heather wouldn't be coming back. So it wasn't so much her like looking towards next year and talking to us about next year necessarily like as a Canberra United kind of thing, but she met with each of us and kind of saw or asked us how the season went for us, and she gave us feedback and kind of like what she thinks our next steps should be kind of thing, and tried to guide us a little bit and also get some feedback for our own professional career as well. So yeah.
Okay, and just out of that, then, did you get a lot from it?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I think she even said it herself. Like, if I hadn't have played that last Brisbane Roar game, it kind of would have been a bit of a different conversation, because I think up until then I hadn't really made much of an impact or done anything that good, I guess. But yeah, she was impressed with that game, and I think she really saw something in me that game that kind of made her think that, yeah, like I could keep going if I wanted to, I guess.
Nice. That must have been great for your confidence.
Yeah, it was a nice feeling. It's kind of good to end the season on a high after, it had been a bit of a roller coaster for the team. Yeah, so even though we lost that game, it was nice to go out with a bit of a personal victory.
So then, season ends. You come back to to a little bit of teaching, and you sign with Mitchelton, not back to Lions. What's the story there?
Yeah, there's a story. No, I did love Lions, and I was living like 10 minutes away, and I'd always planned to move up to the Sunshine Coast because my partner lives up here. So I was always moving at the end of the year, and then obviously Canberra became the bookmark between last year and this year. And so, yeah, once the season finished, I moved up here. I was going to play for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, but their team kind of fell through, which is pretty sad. So I knew Joe and Vince were at Mitchelton, and they had coached me before, and we kind of worked out a bit of a deal about training, because it's still a bit of a drive to get there. So they're happy with our deal, and I train a bit with the men up here on the Sunshine Coast, which helps kind of supplement. And yeah, so that's kind of why I'm at Mitchelton.
That absolutely blows my brain. The Sunshine Coast Wanderers with you in it, what a difference that would have made.
Yeah, I think that's what I kept saying, and just need a few more kind of mature players. Obviously, it would have been good if Samara had stayed, and then, yeah, I think we could have, put a pretty strong team together, because there's talent up here. Just need to, get it together, I guess, get a bit more commitment, and yeah.
I haven't seen Mitchelton play yet this season. Tell me about them. Do you like the way it's the squad that you've got?
Yeah, the girls are really nice. A lot of them I've never really seen before. But then there's a few girls who've come from UQ or the Lions, things like that. So I've got like Sophie, Megan Stevens, Eva Heron now, and Jackie Cashman, I think her last name is. So they've come from Lions. So they're nice. The team's really nice, which is always good, especially if you're traveling and you're not at training all the time. They need to be kind of accepting of that. We've got some good talent there, and I think we'll probably just get stronger throughout the season. So that's always promising.
Good stuff. And you're in the midfield again?
Yeah, playing a bit of like 6 or 8. I think that's definitely my position, so I'm loving it there.
Running the show. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me, just before we wrap this up, tell me a Joe and Vince story.
Actually, I was thinking about this one today, because we were trying to get, those juggling the toilet paper videos, trying to get one of those together from our team. And I remembered 2 years ago when they were coaching Lions in our first season. Joe was explaining something, and then he went to start the drill again, and he went to kick the ball. Well, he thought it was a ball, but it was actually a cone, and we all just lost it. Well, 1 week later, Vince did exactly the same thing, and oh my goodness, it was the best night of training. So we didn't ever let them live it down. It was so funny. Yeah,
I love my post-match chats with Joe and Vince. They're just a dynamic duo.
Definitely. Very animated.
So, have you set a target for Mitchelton this season?
Not not necessarily a measurable one. I think that when I spoke to Heather at the end of the season, she kind of just said, like, you really need to, she said, boss the midfield. So I guess make an impact. And so I would like that every game kind of to see that I'm making an impact on the team in one way or another, whether it be an attack or defense. So that's a bit of a personal goal, I think. Not doing necessarily anything out of the ordinary, but yeah, just trying to guide the team a bit, I guess.
Yeah. And you don't need to be huge or large in stature to be able to do that. It's all about presence, isn't it?
Yeah, yep, definitely. So hopefully I'm providing the right presence for Mitchelton.
Good stuff. All right, Beck, we might leave it there. Thank you so much for the chat. That was fascinating. And one more thing before you go. So now that you've had that taste of W League, you must be itching to get back into it, yeah?
Yeah, I'd love to go another round. I'd love to stay a bit more local. So yeah, wouldn't mind playing Brisbane Roar, just putting that out there. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with this season and next season. So yeah, just depends.
Sure. Well, I wish you every success, Beck. I'm with your game, the way it's progressed, and if you can stay on that trajectory, you'll be a Matilda in no time, hey?
Thanks. Just trying to be like Vilic.
All right, Beck. Thank you so much. That was our initial consultation with thanks to Village Law Compensation Lawyers. Beck, have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.